So I got a notification through Webtoon about, a new series that has started called Keys, and that's what we're talking about because, well, I think it's kind of interesting. And if you don't know what Keys is, I'll give you a brief rundown of what happens in the first 3 chapters that are currently available for non-Fast Pass holders like myself, and then I'll give my thoughts on it. But before we get into it, let's play rock, paper, scissors. On shoot, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. If you just lost, well, go down, hit the sub button, while you're down there, maybe consider leaving a like, dropping a comment, and maybe hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the stuff I'm pointing out, which is primarily Webtoon, related with anime stuff that used to be the focus, but is now kind of the side thing. Anyway, Keys. Let's run through the basic plot summary. So, there's this kid called Kane, and that might have peaked the audio, I'm so sorry if it did. Anyway, there's this kid called Kane, and he's 19, his dad can't work, and he's trying to get a job. He's not doing very well at getting a job, but he's trying, at least. And he has this goal of doing something to help people, for the greater good, to help people, to be like a firefighter, a police officer, that type of thing. He's that type of kid. And I don't know why I'm calling a kid, I'm also 19, but that's whatever. And then, at some point, he, after getting back from failing a job, his dad's trying to console him, and then brings up his mother, who is, well, dead. And this kind of sets him off, he gets angry, and he goes out for a walk to cool his head. And being the type of person that he is, when he hears a scream of someone asking for help, well, he checks his phone to try and get some help, but it's dead. So he heads over himself. And, well, it seems to be that there was this thug with a knife, like, doing something to this woman, and, well, he intervenes and loses his life. But not before being introduced to the focus of this story. As the title is, we're introduced to keys and key holders. Keys are seemingly these sort of supernatural entities, and key holders are people that use the power of keys within the real world. And the one that we see of this first guy, it's just he grows some, like, thorns out of his body, I guess. And he uses this to stab the, our boy Kane in the heart. This then transitions into our second chapter, where we're introduced to a mysterious figure who we hear speaking to Kane, or, well, Kane hears speaking to him. You can't quite make out who they are because he is, dying. And then it would appear that he receives a key himself. This key that takes the form of a dragon, at least inside him. But this isn't any normal key. This is a key with a grand goal of wiping out the plague on humanity that is keys. It wants to kill every other key and rid the world of them. We don't know what this key is called. We don't even know if keys, as in the actual beings, have names. I assume they will, otherwise it's going to be weird to keep calling this thing, the main character's key. I have some speculation as to what the name will be, but we'll get into that in a bit. Although, yeah, we'll see. And this key resurrects him by completely taking control of his body and sealing his consciousness in bandages, because that is this key's special ability. Other than having this cool little mask, it wraps itself up in bandages around his arms. So you can use them to bind people, and it has an interesting fighting style because of it. You can also use them to condense them together, create like a knife or a spear, which you'll see in the fight that breaks out after the key hunts down the man that killed the main character to kill his key, and then he does. There is a fight. It's a pretty cool fight. The choreography is nice. The use of the abilities and stuff, and what we see the main character's key do is quite nice. And then he goes to question the person with the key to find out who the sire of his key was. Presumably that is the key in charge of that group of keys, I would assume. And, well, he doesn't say anything because Kane regains consciousness and stops the dragon key within him from killing the man or hurting him for information, because that goes against what he's for. Kane wants to help people, not hurt them. And eventually passes out from exhaustion due to the severe wounds in his body still being there, and also the fact that he just fought a monster without realizing it. And then, just after that, there is one final reveal before the end of the third chapter, and that is a group known as the Exorcists. Presumably they are a task force that deal with key and keyholder related issues, but I assume we'll find out more about them in Chapter 4, given how Chapter 3 ends, or Episode 3. I'm so used to calling them chapters, but that's what I'm going to roll with. So yeah, I like where this could go. Like I say in the thumbnail, this has great potential. It could be very, very good as an action webtoon, and also it could have some pretty cool interesting plot points and dynamics using the inner demon trope that we clearly will be working with here, because that's what this is. We have a key inside our main character, and they have two very opposing ideals and goals and personalities, evidently. And one wants to destroy all of a thing for the benefit. Well, I guess they do have an overlapping theme of they want to help humanity, it's just in different ways. Cain wants to do it by helping people, and then the dragon wants to do it by eradicating all keys so that humanity is not plagued by them. So that's probably how they'll, unite and work together, is with that common goal. But we'll have to wait and see. It could go down a very different route, but that's where I expect it to. Also, given our main character is called Cain, I hypothesize that the dragon will be called Abel, hence Cain and Abel from the Bible. Either that, or we will have a very important side character, like a deuteragonist called Cain, who will fight alongside our main character. Because I doubt that Cain will be just a vigilante. What I expect is perhaps with his key's goal, he might end up becoming a part of the Exorcists, this group who will, take out and handle key-related issues, and that is how the dragon will begin to see its goal through to fruition. But we'll have to wait and see. I like where this could go. It'll be interesting to see where it goes in the coming weeks and months and so on and so on and so on. With FastPass, there's 6 chapters, but I don't have it, so I've not read the next 3 because, well, like I said, I don't have it. So I'll be looking forward to seeing 4, which will be coming out next week. This will be going up 2 days after the webtoon, properly started, I think, or at least Canvas alerted me to it. But yeah, give it a read. It's kind of interesting and could go somewhere. I think it's got potential, but hey, what the fuck do I know? Anyway, I've been Animosity, you've been you, and I hope it's going to time for another video. Ta-ta for now.